Let me ask you something. How many people are you connected to on LinkedIn right now? 200, 500, 2,000? Okay, let me ask you the real question. How many of those people could actually change your career? How many are respected voices in your industry? How many are decision makers? How many are opening doors, creating opportunities, or shaping conversations people pay attention to? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how many of them even know your name? Look, here's the truth. A large network means nothing if there's no real connection behind it. Some people are collecting contacts, others are building relationships. And the people building relationships, they're the ones getting referrals, getting opportunities, introductions, collaborations, and interviews before jobs are ever posted publicly. Today, with the help of AI, I'm showing you how to strategically identify 10 emerging thought leaders in any industry. You're going to uncover the content that's getting them attention right now and craft intelligent comments that actually start conversations. That's right. No cold pitches, no awkward networking, not, hi, I'd love to pick your brain. I'm talking about authentic engagement that makes people notice you, remember you, and eventually want to connect with you. Please understand, one thoughtful interaction can open a door that 500 random applications never will. Come on now, this is how modern networking works. The goal isn't just to be connected, the goal is to become known. Welcome to Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers. I'm William Craig III, an AI business and career strategist. And if you're new to the series, my mission is to help you run your job search like a well organized job campaign, one with clarity, confidence, and strategy, using AI as your job campaign manager. And by the way, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Get Up and Get a Job. If you've already done that, thank you. If not, go to Get Up and Get a Job on YouTube. Click the subscribe bell, and you'll be notified every time I go live or share exclusive material not available anywhere else. All right, let's see who's saying hello in the comment section. So a few things pop up. And we have DJ Helix says, good morning, William and everyone. I hope you have a very special Memorial Day. I'm remembering my dad who served in the Navy during World War II. Wow. Thanks so much, DJ. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for sharing your time, as always. Let's see. We also have Dawn Lewis. Hey, Dawn. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, Monday. And then we've got John Werner. Hey, John. Hi, William and everyone. I hope everyone is having a restful and meaningful Memorial Day weekend as we remember and honor our fallen heroes. Looking forward to today's segment. And then there's my friend. Welcome back, Daniel Velez. Hello, everyone. Happy Memorial Decoration Day. All righty. Let's get into this and see what we can do to help ourselves to do a better job of strategically networking. All right, you see the prompt on the screen, identify 10 emerging thought leaders and you're going to select your industry. I'll fill it in for Mary in just a moment. For each, list their specialty, one recent article or podcast, and suggest a comment that starts a real conversation, not a cold pitch, but a genuine connection that opens doors. Explain why 10 strategic connections beats 1,000 random ones every time. All righty. And so I'm going to go ahead and edit the prompt for Mary's field of finance. All righty. And let's see what chat does to help us out with this. All righty, here we go. I'll verify current finance voices and recent content so we don't hand you a stale influencer list. I'll prioritize people with practical thought leadership, active publishing, and conversation work content. So here's the neat thing about this, and I've shared this with you over the time that we've been together, that I have trained my chat, excuse me, I trained my chat so that it does not give me bogus information, so that I don't get those hallucinations, but I get concrete data that supports whatever it is I'm doing. So that's why it's starting out by telling me, because I'm asking for real data, I'm asking for live data, it's telling me, here's what I'm going to do to get the information that you want. All righty. So here we go. Below are 10 strategic finance voices worth engaging, not just following. And so we've got a list here: thought leader, their specialty, recent article or podcast, and the exact conversation starting comment that we should use. Now, chat is still working on this. So, and this is a good thing. Um, while it's doing that, let me just change up. Didn't change up from Friday. So let's go ahead and change the banner. All right, little housekeeping there. Didn't hurt, never hurts anybody. All right. And chat looks like it has finished. All right. So where's my scroll bar? Guess I got to go down here to get this. There it is, the scroll bar, so that you guys can see this side. All righty. And exact conversation starting comment. All right. So because I've enlarged my screen, I don't have, because I don't want the text to be so small on the screen that you can't read it. So we'll get a little give and take here. All right. So I'm going to start by just going through the conversation starting comments, since I'm already on this side of the response. And then we'll go back on the other side and we'll see who these are attributed to. So, Nicholas, this is one of the clearest CFO AI roadmaps I've seen. I especially appreciate the focus on governance and validation, not just tools. In your view, what's the first AI use case finance teams should tackle when leadership is interested, but the data is messy? And then we've got Glenn, your replace versus argument framing is powerful. I'd love your take on how CFOs should evaluate change management risk alongside ROI when considering AI native ERP tools. Now, I'm loving this already because chat has done exactly what I asked it to do. In a moment, you'll see who we're talking to, but this is what you're going to say when you're reaching out to connect with these people. All right. This is the important part. This is the part where most people fail because, again, the generic, hey, I really admire your work and would love to pick your brain. Hey, I really admire your work and would love 10 to 15 minutes to talk to you. Well, that was before we knew what we could do using our AI tools. And so now we have customized content to send to those we are interested in connecting with. And we'll see why we're interested in connecting with them in just a moment. All right, CJ, I like how you make CFO tech stack conversations practical instead of vendor heavy. What's one tool category you think finance leaders are overbuying and one they're underestimating? And again, as you saw, I customized this for Mary's industry, but you're going to plug in your own industry and get the results that are applicable to your situation. Paul, your focus on FP&A, moving closer to decision making, really resonates. What skill do you think separates a good analyst from someone who becomes a true strategic partner? Simon, the connection between AI stablecoins and financial infrastructure is fascinating. Which trend do you think most finance leaders are still underestimating because it looks technical instead of strategic? And notice, we're not saying the same thing over and over to each person, but again, Each one is customized based on the individual and their specialty and the connection that we want to make. All right, Alex, I appreciate how you separate predictions from priorities. What's one fintech priority you think banks will talk about loudly but execute slowly in 2026? And you can even change that to 2027 or as we end 2026 and move into 2027. That's how I would position that one. Nick, your global fintech coverage helps connect dots most people miss. What region do you think finance leaders should watch more closely right now and why? Uh, Javinji, Nij- Javjin, okay, I'm butchering this, I know, but let's see. Chavinges, I'm going to take a stab at it. Your public fintech lens is helpful because it moves beyond hype into business model discipline. What metric do you think reveals the most about whether a fintech is built to last? And we've got Dara. Dara, I appreciate how you keep innovation connected to responsibility. Where do you see the biggest gap right now between fintech product speed and regulatory readiness? Andrew, your CFO archetypes are a strong framework. For finance professionals trying to grow into leadership, which archetype do you think will be most valuable over the next 12 to 18 months? All right, there you have it. All right, so let's go back over and see who these people are. So we've got Andrew Waters, who is CFO. Let's get here we go. The thought leader, the specialty, the recent article or podcast. So we've got Nicholas Brochier, AI for finance, FP&A, accounting, automation, and most recent article podcast, AI and Finance Guide 2026, and AI plus Finance newsletter. And here we go. We've got the source. We've got two sources. So you go here and you can click on it and see every top CFO will have one by end of 2026. Most don't. And let me just say this gives you an idea of the kinds of things, if you were Mary in her field, this gives you the kinds of ideas of posts that you should be making. All right. Nicholas Brochier says that every top CFO will have one by the end of 2026. Here's why you should. And then you can extrapolate information that you get from his article or his posting here and create your own 3 to 5 bullet points about it and post it. Because trust me, if Nicholas is posting this, and I'm sure Nicholas is getting input because he is a thought leader, then guess what? It stands to reason that you will too, and you will get the attention. You'll get the attention just like Nicholas is. Even if there are some people who don't know Nicholas, guess what? The fact that this is a hot topic, the algorithms are going to pick it up and you are going to be spotlighted. All right, had to say that so that you understand the power of what you have right here. All right, let's go on. Glenn Hopper, AI native CFO strategy, finance transformation. Those are his specialties. And here, most recently, AI native ERP landscapes for CFOs. And again, you've got your Glenn Hopper's post, AI native ERP landscape for CFOs. And the mere fact that this comes up in the search means that, again, the algorithms have already risen it to the top. All right, we've got CJ Gustafson, SaaS metrics, CFO storytelling, and finance tech stack. Most recently, 2026 finance tech stack survey, mostly metrics. And we've got Paul Barnhurst, FP&A, financial modeling, scenario planning, and then FP&A guide something on my screen. Guide Network and Financial Modelers Corner. And this is our podcast from Apple. All right. So 342 episodes. So yeah, this is somebody who's being listened to. Then we've got Simon Taylor, specialties, fintech, banking, stablecoins, AI, and finance. We've got State of FinTech 2026 and FinTechBrainFood.com. Oh my goodness. Weekly AI, payments and banking. This the weekly financial services and fintech newsletter, diving deep into where AI, stablecoins, and technology. Wow, this is good stuff. Alex Johnson, FinTech Strategy, Banking, Embedded Finance. And remember, this is what you have to look forward to when you plug in your industry. You'll get the movers and shakers in your industry that you'll be able to reach out to and make these very strategic connections. All right, let's see here. FinTech strategy, banking, embedded finance, 2026 priorities, FinTech takes.com is his site. Nick Milanovic, global FinTech funding, and then FinTech ecosystem trends this week in FinTech updates podcast. And I'd bet $1 that it's going to lead you to not just these people, but individuals and companies. If they're following these folks, if they're participating in the content that these folks are putting out, I would dare to say these are people that you would want to connect with who basically will have opportunities that line up with the professional that you want to be seen as. All righty. So with Nick, we've got This Week in FinTech updates and podcasts. Again, some more Apple podcasts. And then we've got Kazanins. Okay, Javinji's. I know I'm messing that up. And if you ever hear me or watch me, please forgive me. But let's see. Specializes in public fintech companies, fintech investing, and market analysis. The Public Ledger, popular fintech. Popular fintech. Wow, that's a thing. This comes from April of 26. 4-minute read, and bottom line is you definitely want to see what's there. Dara Tokowski, FinTech Regulation, RegTech, Responsible Innovation, Tech on Reg podcast. All right, and that's on provoke.fm. Oh my goodness, love it, love it, love it. And then finally, Andrew Waters, CFO Leadership, Finance Talent, and High Growth Startups. Now, CFO Leadership basically means that Andrew speaks to CFO leaders. Okay, he gives leadership to CFOs. All right, and so definitely, if Mary wants to connect with CFOs, she definitely needs to get hooked up with whatever Andrew is doing here. And he's got something called, or has spoken to something called the CFO Rewired and Xanda. And Xanda search comes up with the CFO Rewired, how the role transformed in 2025. And I'm sure there's more information there. All righty. So why 10 strategic connections beat 1,000 random ones every time? Because access is not the same as alignment. You could be in alignment with someone who is a mover and a shaker, someone who can help lift you to that point of being positioned properly in front of the people who know about opportunities before they come to the public or never come to the public because it's part of our hidden job market, right? But here we go, not have access. And you need to have access as well as be aligned. 1,000 random connections may give you noise, but 10 strategic relationships can give you insight, introductions, credibility, and momentum. The goal is not to quote unquote collect people. The goal is to enter the right conversations with the right people around the right ideas. I've got north of 8,000 connections and followers on LinkedIn. And while that's wonderful, there have been a few very strategic connections who have begun introducing me to others. And that's the part. It's that part, okay, that means most to me. I'm not saying that the folks that I'm connected with that have not connected me are not important. I'm just saying the ones who have begun introducing me to others are very important to where I stand in my work at this point in my life. All right. And that's where that's where I want you to get. That's what I want you to understand. All right. Because all of a sudden, people are introducing me to others who are the ones who can say, hey, we'd like to come invite you to speak. Hey, we'd like to invite you or get you to do a workshop for our folks. Hey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You see, here we go. The door usually opens through relevance, not randomness. A thoughtful comment can become a conversation. A conversation can become a relationship, and a relationship can become an opportunity. And you've got bunches of sources here. This was so good. I am so glad I thought about this to share with you all because, again, I know that you guys are in the trenches and you're doing the things that I am suggesting that you do. And what I need you to hear and understand is that this is all about the proper exposure. Put this link to the content, today's prompt in the content section, and that's done. And go ahead and open up my LinkedIn. Let me know if this has been helpful to you. And I'll open up YouTube as well so I can take care of that when I finish here. All righty, so something popped up. TJ Richardson's in the house. TJ says, good day. Happy Memorial Day. I truly appreciate and love my sister and brother veterans. Oh my goodness, TJ, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service, for doing what many of us didn't do, weren't able to do, didn't want to do, but it's because of your sacrifices that we are all here and able to be here in peace. And again, we understand that today is the day that we highlight and we honor those who fell in the line of duty, protecting us. All righty. Let's see here. Something else just popped up. John says, thank you so much for this. Today's session reminded me of the saying, be interested before being interesting. The reframe from networking to starting a real conversation gave a much more human way to think about building connections. Really helpful session. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And again, that's what this is all about. These are the things literally that you would spend hundreds of dollars with a career coach to find out, if not thousands. And even in my own packaging as a career coach, yeah, this is part of what I do for my clients. And at the end of the day, yeah, they are paying hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars to work with me to get this information. But here we go. This is the information that is going to make the difference in the least amount of time to moving the needle in your job campaign. Now, and let me say this really quickly because I know that fear stymies so many people. And what I need you to understand is that these people that you are looking to connect with, they're people just like you. Okay, you need to understand that. They're people just like you. The only difference is that they have a certain level of influence over the industry that you're interested in and the thing that you want, which is a new opportunity, whether that's a promotion or whether that's a new job altogether. And so please understand what I've given you today by literally giving you that leg up on the content that you can share with them. Here's how you break the ice, the icebreaker, if you will, when you're reaching out to the folks that you're going to identify by using this prompt. You now have nothing to fear because now you don't even have to think about what to say. And again, I just hope that you'll move forward this week. Now, if you haven't gotten all the other ducks in a row, all right, you need to get the ducks in a row and then move forward on this because this is going to make you interesting. You're showing, as John said, that you're interested. And once they see how interested you are, then they're going to be interested in finding out how interesting you are. Hope that makes sense. Hey, look, I pray that this Memorial Day weekend, well, we're in the last day of the weekend, will really, really, really be special, be introspective, because it's about what are you going to do with the freedom you have. And again, I know our system's not perfect. Our country's not perfect. But guess what? Neither are we. We're not perfect. So we have to allow the same grace that we're allowed. We're allowed to be perfect and walk the earth freely. Okay. And I need you to think about what does Memorial Day provide for you? What opportunity does it provide for you as it relates to the thing that you're looking for? All right. Take advantage of this, the rest of this day, to really think about, okay, how am I going to move forward? How am I going to position myself to move forward based on the fact that I am here? There are not bombs bursting in air. You know, I was looking over the weekend at what happened in Ukraine, and just, you know, awful situation. But that's not our story. While we certainly pray for those people and we feel for those people, that's not our story. And so, because our story is different, because again, we don't have bombs bursting overhead, because tanks are not invading our borders, we can choose to do what it is we want to do in the way in which we want to do it. So be introspective. Don't let this day just be a day off. Let this day be a day that really means something, because here we go. People gave their lives for this day. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to get out of here. We are in a world that's filled with some people who don't quite have it right in the head. So if you see something, if you hear something that seems out of place between now and tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern, please say something. Bring it to someone's attention. All righty. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. And I'm going to say, please remember these three things. God loves you. I love you. Nothing you can do about it. Have a wonderful rest of your Memorial Day. I'll look to see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern. God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.
Wow, that was fantastic. I haven't been this excited to learn about something since I left basketball. Anyway, Mr. Craig did another great job of sharing an AI prompt that anyone can use in their job search. Be sure to join him every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. You can watch the replays there as well. And while you're at it, share this information with someone you know who wants or needs a new job. I've got to run. My team needs me. But keep up the great work, Mr. Craig. You're providing a great service for the community. I'm going to tell all of my players about daily AI prompts for job seekers with William Craig III.